Hey guys, I'm a Dimension Jumper, and today I'll be doing my top 5 favourite announcements from the Switch 2 Direct. Now, the Switch 2 Direct, as of when this is being filmed and uploaded, has recently been released, and we've seen some of the things that have been announced and have been shown. And over the next week or so, next few weeks, I'm not 100% sure, but I'll be making videos talking about the Switch 2 as a whole. And today I'll be making this list video. I think tomorrow or Friday I'll be releasing a general discussion video about my thoughts on the Direct as a whole, and then maybe next week after, I'm going to be making a video talking about how the Switch 2 could succeed in as a successor to the Switch, where the Wii U failed as a sort of successor to the Wii. So today I'm just really talking about some of my favourite announcements, and to start off with, for number 5 is the GameCube online library. Now, as was shown, there were only a few games. I think Soul Calibur 2 was shown off. There's also the Wind Waker also shown off. And I think in terms of the online library, it's a good continuation of the libraries that we've seen so far. So we have had the Game Boy, the Game Boy Advance, the Nintendo 64, and now we're getting the GameCube. So far, we've only seen a few games. It's going to be something similar to like the other online libraries, even the music app that Nintendo released, where we're going to be drop-fed different games onto the system. So there's probably going to be Twilight Princess, Mario Sunshine, Pokemon games, or more Pokemon games, or whatever. And yeah, so far it's a good announcement. I think it's just because we have only a few games on that, if we get the GameCube library, then there could possibly be a sort of announcement for the Wind Waker and Twilight Princess HD, maybe sometime in the future, maybe in like a future launch direct for the Switch 2, maybe. So yeah, I will probably be talking about this more in my general discussion video that I'll be releasing later this week. So yeah, for number 4 is the group chat element. Now, this is kind of similar to how PlayStation have done it, in that if we look at my PlayStation 5 controller here, so you've got like, if I just bring up the camera quickly, I'm not too sure how easily you can see this, but there's like a microphone built into it. So like you've got the dots here. I think they represent the microphone, and then you've got the bar here, which can make you turn the microphone on and off. And it kind of reminds me of that with the group chat, because you've got the group chat button on the side of the right Switch 2 controller, and this can be used to talk with your friends. And you've also got that group chat camera on, which is good, because like it kind of like adds your face to like the background or the foreground of whatever game you're playing. So like it makes you feel like you're playing the game kind of like on a green screen, kind of similar to how you see a lot of YouTubers do it when they do live streams or reactions or something, and they've got like green screens covering their backs, and then they're framing it to be part of whatever they're doing. So like if it's a game that they're reacting to or playing, or to like a different background wallpaper sort of thing. That's kind of how it looks like to me. So yeah, it's got some elements that are quite cool, and I think it's one of those things that's could be fun to do when you want to talk with friends, and it's not just over Discord. It could go well or not, because I remember seeing, I think when they were playing Mario Kart, or the new Mario Kart, the other people or the friends were kind of lagging a bit, so there could be some in terms of like it could be good, but then like the lags and stuff like that. So yeah. For number 3 are the way that the mouse controls work. Now with this, we kind of saw a bit of how the mouse controls would work when we saw the teaser trailer for the Switch 2, I think a few months ago. I think it was like around the end of last year, beginning of this year, roughly. And yeah, and we did see some games using the mouse controls. I think one of the examples I can think of from the top of my head is the basketball wheelchair game. And it's got like, 3 people in one team. And it's basically a 3v3, and you've got like people using people who are in wheelchairs, and they just like, you can do like different like slides, or not slides, I would say like do like a dunk, you can do like a parry, or no, not parry, like a turn to like pass and stuff, and like also like do like with like throwing into the net, stuff like that. And yeah, I think with the mouse controls, this could be cool, and I think with the games that we've seen so far that can use the mouse controls, we could see potentially more games that do use the controls to their limit, or how they can be used in the games that they could be used in. And if games like the basketball game that I talked about can use mouse controls, then maybe there's going to be remakes of old games. Maybe we could get Twilight Princess. Maybe we could get Phantom Hourglass and the Spirit Tracks as remakes into the Switch 2, maybe, or have like the DS Online library and just have those games being ported over into the Switch 2 with the mouse controls in mind. So yeah, the mouse controls and the games, there is some of them in terms of the games that can use them. I'll be cool to see, and be quite interesting to see future games that do use these controls. So yeah. For number 2 is the Mario Kart World game, or the Super Mario Kart World game. And this is probably the most different and probably renovate or interesting one that we've seen so far, because it kind of reinvents the Mario Kart wheel in a sort of sense, because kind of like how Mario Kart 7 had the glider, and then Mario Kart 8 and Deluxe had anti-grav, Mario Kart World has the different, like, makes you go through these different areas in terms of the different laps, and that's really cool, and I think that's the next step in terms of how Mario Kart does Mario Kart. I think Mario Kart is one of the few racing games that can outdo itself in terms of mechanics, items, the things you can do in the games, and even in terms of the tracks. I think each of the games all bring their own unique style and their own unique flavour to the series. And I think when this does come out in the same day that the Switch 2 is released in June 5th, it's going to be so cool just to drift around all these different corners and just going through all these different areas of the game, and that's going to be so cool. And also, it's got some new features, like you can just go off-road and just experience the course, or the different courses, on your own leisure. And again, I think that's so reinventing the whole Mario Kart thing. And yeah, I think with Mario Kart World, it's so cool. And it's even got 24 new characters that's added onto a track. So yeah, that's so cool. And I think only with this game on the Switch 2, it could work. And I think I said in yesterday's video, talking about that, only this can work for the Switch, or the first Switch, because Mario Kart, I think if you looked at Mario Kart 8, I don't think it could handle 24 players at once. But now the Switch 2, which has like more power behind it, it can now handle more characters on one race and stuff like that. So yeah. And for number 1 is Hyrule Warriors: The Age of Imprisonment. Now this was, I don't know how to explain this, because like this just came out of nowhere, and I think this is going to help fill in a lot of the gaps with the elements that were explained in Tears of the Kingdom, because we heard about the whole imprisoning war, so like Ganondorf stealing Sonia's Secret Stone, Zelda arriving in the past and then she meets Rauru and Sonia, and then all the events that happen in between those two events, and all the events that lead afterwards. And it would be cool to see how the imprisoning war happened, and also this is like the first or another game that is seen through Zelda's perspective, because the first one we got was Echoes of Wisdom, and with the Age of Imprisonment, this is going to be the second game in like the Zelda sort of series, that was going to be taken from Zelda's perspective, so like how Zelda arrived in the past, and then how she sees all of this old version of Hyrule, but it's going to be new for us because it's going to be, even though it's taken in the Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom map sort of area, it's all going to be still a bit new because of there's going to be new locations and new areas to explore here and there. So yeah, and also another Hyrule Warriors game. I do love the Hyrule Warriors games that we've had. So like in terms of the Zelda ones, we've got like, the first game, then all the ports for that one. There was also the Age of Calamity that we got, which was like to kind of like to fill in the gaps for the Breath of the Wild, and now we've got Age of Imprisonment. So yeah, and I do love all of like the Hyrule Dynasty type warrior games that we've had that's based on games like Zelda or other stuff like the Attack on Titan games, especially Attack on Titan 2 that I do like. So yeah, I'm excited for this one. So yeah, that's been my video for the top 5 favorite announcements from the Switch 2 Direct. I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.